Welcome back to my channel Liberty Old Coin. It's time to sit down and dive deep into a piece of pocket change that could be worth far more than you'd ever guess. First up, let's talk about the single coin we are examining today, the 1969 Australian Elizabeth II 20-cent piece. This is not a collection, but a specific year that has the potential to make you a significant profit. Now, why is this little piece of copper nickel so special? Let's start with its history. Back in 1966, Australia switched from the old pounds and shillings to the dollar and cents we know today. The 20-cent coin came out to replace the old florin, and the design has remained almost the same ever since. As for the date, your 1969 coin marks a time when the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra was producing millions of these platypus coins. In total, over 16.5 million of these coins were made, which might sound like a lot, but it is actually a very specific and sought-after number. So why is it valuable? It is all about the mintage. At 16.5 million coins, the 1969 issue has a much smaller production run than the 28 million from 1966, and it is dwarfed by the over 83 million coins minted in 1967. This lower mintage is a massive key to its current value. Is it really that valuable, you ask? The short answer is yes, absolutely, but the price all comes down to the condition. A coin you might find in your change jar is called circulated, and while it holds value, the true money is made when the coin is in mint state or uncirculated. Let me give you the hard numbers that will get you excited. For a standard uncirculated 1969 20-cent coin, the market value starts at around $50 to $100. But if you have a coin that is in flawless condition, graded as MS67, you could be looking at a sale price of $130 or even more. Now here is where it gets huge. Have you ever heard of a proof coin? The Royal Australian Mint also struck a limited run of exquisite proof versions of the 1969 20-cent piece for collectors. Only 13,000 of these stunning coins were ever made. The maximum price you can sell this single coin for is truly eye-watering. In prestigious auctions, a single 1969 proof 20-cent coin in its original packaging has been seen to blow past its estimates and sell for $420 USD. That is over 2,000 times its face value, turning a casual find into a serious investment. To achieve that maximum price, your coin needs to be in pristine condition. You are looking for that original mint luster, no scratches, and perfect details on the platypus. If you think you have a high-grade coin, getting it authenticated by a professional service is the step that will unlock that $400 plus payday. So check your spare change and those old coin collections you might have forgotten about. A single 1969 20-cent coin is your ticket to a payday. Look at it carefully, and you just might be holding hundreds of dollars in the palm of your hand. Don't let that coin sit in a jar any longer. Go and check your collection right now. Next coin, the 1977 Australian 20-cent piece featuring Queen Elizabeth II, and why it could be your most valuable overlooked treasure. This single 1977 Elizabeth II 20-cent coin is about to show you that modern history and surprising value can live right inside your pocket change. The story begins on 14 February 1966, when Australia switched from pounds and shillings to dollars and cents, and the 20-cent coin was born to directly replace the old florin, keeping the same size and weight, so the transition was smooth for everyone. That original reverse design of a playful platypus was created by the renowned artist Stuart Devlin, and it remained completely unchanged right through to 1995, meaning your 1977 coin carries that identical, classic design. Now the specific coin we hold in our hands is the 1977 issue, which features on the obverse the famous second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, professionally designed by Arnold Machin. For this iconic portrait, the Queen wears the beautiful girls of Great Britain and Ireland diamond tiara, a cherished wedding gift from her grandmother, Queen Mary, back in 1947. Looking closely, the legend around her reads, Elizabeth Australia 1977, while on the reverse, the platypus swims through artistic swirls of water with the simple numeral 20 placed neatly above its head. These coins are struck in a cupronickel alloy, specifically 75% copper and 25% nickel, which gives them a non-magnetic composition and a solid, satisfying weight of 11.31 grams. The total number of these coins produced for circulation was 41,272,000, which is a very specific mintage figure that immediately catches the attention of serious collectors. What makes this specific coin potentially valuable right now is the tiny number of pristine pieces that have survived in mint state condition. For a circulation coin, the current market value for a piece graded MS60 to MS65 sits at a modest $15.7, but this is just the starting point for real collectors. Once we move into higher uncirculated grades, the maximum price for a circulation strike climbs dramatically, with an MS66 grade coin valued at $16.4 and an MS67 grade coin reaching an impressive $73.5 at the retail level. However, the absolute maximum value for this single coin comes from its proof counterpart, of which only 55,000 specially struck examples exist with a flawless, mirror-like finish. A perfect high-grade proof 1977 20-cent coin in its original presentation case can easily reach market prices of over $100, and at formal auctions, exceptionally preserved examples are known to sell for as much as $150 or even more. Looking to the future, the potential for price growth is remarkably bright because well-preserved decimal coins, especially proofs, have shown a history of slow but steady appreciation over the years. As the decades pass, the number of high-grade 1977 20-cent coins will only decrease, making each surviving gem rarer and naturally pushing future market prices higher for patient holders. Beyond the standard issues, there is also the exciting possibility of minting errors, which turn an ordinary coin into a major payday, with off-center strikes selling for $50 to over $1,000 and double strikes commanding anywhere from $200 to more than $2,000 from eager collectors. So if you currently own a single 1977 Australian 20-cent coin, now is the moment to examine it very carefully, because your ordinary-looking pocket change could be worth $70, $100, or maybe even $150 or more. Each day you hold onto this coin is an opportunity, so check your loose change and your old coin sets now, and you just might discover a modern treasure with surprising potential. Second coin, the 1982 Australian 20-cent Elizabeth II coin, is one of those coins that many people ignore at first glance, but serious collectors know that certain high-grade examples can attract surprising attention in the coin market. The moment this large copper-nickel coin appears under proper lighting, with the famous platypus design shining across the reverse side, it instantly feels different from ordinary pocket change. That is exactly why collectors across Australia and even international buyers continue searching through old jars, inherited collections, and bank rolls, hoping to discover one in exceptional condition. Back in 1982, Australia was already deep into the decimal currency era that began in 1966, and the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra produced millions of 20-cent coins for everyday circulation. Even though the mintage was high, collectors today still chase clean and sharply struck examples because very few survive decades of circulation without scratches, fading, or edge damage. Many people spent them without thinking, while others stored them away untouched, creating a huge difference between common worn coins and premium collectible pieces. Coinsand Australia, Com+1. The coin features Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side using the famous Arnold Machin portrait. On the reverse side is the iconic Australian platypus designed by Stuart Devlin, one of the most recognizable animal designs in Australian coin history. The platypus was chosen because it represents Australia's unique wildlife and national identity. Even decades later, this design still looks bold, artistic, and instantly recognizable to collectors around the world. Queensland Australia, Com+1. What makes the 1982 version especially exciting for collectors is the growing attention toward vintage Australian decimal coins from the Elizabeth II era. Many younger collectors are now hunting coins from the late 1970s and early 1980s because these coins connect directly to Australia's modern history. Every year, more collectors enter the hobby, and demand for attractive older coins keeps growing through online auctions, collector groups, and coin exhibitions. Some people wonder how many buyers actually want this coin, and the answer is simple. Thousands of collectors actively search Australian decimal coins every year. Online marketplaces, coin forums, and collector communities constantly discuss 20-cent varieties, mint conditions, and unusual examples. Videos about Australian coins regularly attract strong interest because collectors love discovering hidden treasures that once circulated in everyday change. YouTube +1. A heavily circulated 1982 20-cent coin may look ordinary, but when collectors find one with strong detail, original shine, and almost no wear, excitement builds quickly. High-grade coins are the real stars of the market. Some certified mint-state examples have reached prices around $20 and beyond, while exceptional pieces with premium eye appeal can attract even higher asking prices from ambitious sellers and passionate buyers. Queensland Australia, Com+1. That is why experienced collectors always say condition changes everything. Two coins from the exact same year can have completely different values depending on preservation. One coin may stay at face value after years in circulation, while another carefully preserved piece can become a collectible worth many times more simply because it survived untouched for decades. The weight and size of the 1982 Australian 20-cent coin also make it feel more substantial than smaller coins. It weighs 11.31 grams and has a strong copper-nickel composition that gives it durability and a distinct metallic appearance. When collectors hold it in their hands, it feels like a true classic from Australia's coinage history. Queensland Australia, Com+1. The Royal Australian Mint created these coins not only for commerce, but also as symbols of national identity. During the early 1980s, Australia was strengthening its international image, and everyday currency became part of that identity. The platypus design represented uniqueness, resilience, and Australian wildlife, making the coin more than just money. It became a miniature piece of national culture carried by millions of people every day. Collectors especially love coins connected to Queen Elizabeth II because her portrait appeared across generations of Commonwealth currency. After the end of her historic reign, many collectors became even more interested in coins featuring her image. That renewed attention has pushed many older Elizabeth II coins back into the spotlight, including the 1982 Australian 20-cent piece. Another reason this coin keeps attracting attention is nostalgia. People remember finding these coins in childhood piggy banks, lunch money, arcade machines, or family collections. When nostalgia mixes with coin collecting, values and demand often rise because people are willing to pay more for pieces connected to personal memories and national history. Interestingly, many collectors believe hidden treasures are still sitting unnoticed inside old collections because millions of coins were stored away decades ago. Every time someone discovers a bright uncirculated 1982 20-cent coin in an old drawer, the excitement begins all over again. That possibility keeps collectors searching continuously. Auction sites and collector discussions often show strong interest whenever unusually preserved Australian decimal coins appear. Buyers compete hardest for coins with sharp edges, clean surfaces, strong strikes, and original mint luster. Those details may seem small to ordinary people, but collectors see them as signs of rarity and preservation. The 1982 issue also belongs to a fascinating era in Australian minting history. Around the early 1980s, certain Australian 20-cent coins involved different production arrangements connected with overseas mint assistance, creating even more interest among specialists studying varieties and subtle differences in strike quality. Dedicated collectors spend years comparing tiny design details, searching for standout examples. Reddit +1. One powerful thing about coin collecting is that value is driven by desire. When collectors want a coin badly enough, prices can climb far beyond original expectations. A coin that once bought snacks or bus fare can suddenly become a prized collectible because enough people decide it deserves attention. That is exactly how everyday coins transform into collector favorites. The market for Australian coins has expanded internationally through online platforms, making it easier than ever for collectors in different countries to buy and sell vintage Australian currency. This wider audience means more eyes are searching for attractive examples of the 1982 20-cent coin, increasing competition for premium condition pieces. Even people who know very little about coins are often surprised by how much collectors care about details like mint luster, strike sharpness, edge quality, and surface preservation. A coin that appears ordinary to one person may look like a hidden gem to an experienced collector who understands rarity in top condition. The story of the 1982 Australian 20-cent coin is ultimately a story about overlooked treasure. Millions were produced, but only a small percentage survived in collectible condition. Time, circulation, scratches, and damage destroyed the quality of most examples, which is exactly why cleaner specimens now stand out so dramatically in the collector world. Many successful collectors started with simple pocket change discoveries. That is why people continue checking jars, drawers, and inherited collections today. The next impressive 1982 20-cent coin could appear anywhere, and that possibility keeps the excitement alive for both beginners and experienced collectors alike. For viewers watching this video, the message is simple: never underestimate old coins. The 1982 Australia 20-cent Elizabeth II coin carries history, national identity, royal heritage, and collector demand all in one piece of metal. A coin that once passed silently through thousands of hands can now become a collectible treasure worth far more than most people imagine. And perhaps the most exciting part is this. Somewhere right now, another 1982 Australian 20-cent coin is waiting to be discovered in stunning condition, hidden in a forgotten collection, unnoticed by ordinary people, but instantly recognized by collectors who understand its true appeal and potential value. Coinsand Australia, Com +2.